I hope I am like this. Am I right on your phone? If anybody could tell me, that would be great, which you can't change it once you start the live. But I think I hit the right button, but I am not used to going live on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to go up that a little bit so it'll show more. I hope somebody hops on so they can tell me if it's okay. We are going to do DIY clay paint in faded burlap. It is a really, really good cream tan. It's a good mix of the both. It's really not yellow, I wouldn't think, I would say. You don't have to do anything to the surface to prep it. Besides, like, I didn't sand this or anything, even though it's raw wood. I don't do persnickety finishes though, so, you know, you can do all that stuff, but the beauty of this paint is you don't have to do that. So I got this thing clogged up, so he's going out slow. Very, very slow. Oh, I see somebody watching. Can you tell me, am I filming the correct way or is it sideways to you? Because I had to already start and stop once because I didn't do it right, and then I can't tell. Oh, shoot. I'm not going to be able to. Where can I see the comments at? Let me see. Oh, I can see the comments right here. Anybody tell me? Somebody tell me. All messages are visible. Man, I don't know if I'm sideways or not. Hope I'm not, because that's super annoying. If you're trying to learn something, watch these, be inspired. I am painting on some little paint pyramids. I love them. Here they are. Look at them. You can get them for really cheap at Lowe's and Amazon. And that way you can get the sides without picking up the dirt off your surface or, you know, wasting your paint on your drop cloth. I should do the sides first because then you can make sure if you get a glob up here where it shows more, you can smooth it out. I can already tell you this bottle is driving me nuts. There's a big paint booger, and sometimes those pop out and then it explodes everywhere. And that's bad. Oh my goodness, I didn't know this was going to take so long. Okay, like watching water boil here. I have a new video that's scheduled for 12 o'clock tomorrow. And it is, what is it? Oh, my husband made a plant solar light. It's like a board that has a chain that you can hang up. And then it has 3 hooks on it that you can hang whatever you want to hang on there. So it's just a yucky, plain, not yucky, but it's just a, which you can use a yucky one, just a plain 2x4, just really, really plain. And so I was like, oh, okay. He said, I made this. And I was like, oh man, there's like enough to do a whole nother board here. Okay, hang on. The ends take a lot more paint because they're like cut and weird. So sometimes I kind of stipple it. If you use a mister bottle with our clay paint, oh my goodness, it glides on there so easy. And I'll actually be able to get that off of there with the baby wipe. I love that. I can get this in my clothes. And I try to remember to spray and wash it, but I have forgot before, and it still comes out. Now, a red color might not come out as easy. And if you'll hang with me, I'll show you what I'm doing. That something I think you would like to have if you're not a very techie person, but you would like to have one of the little Cricut vinyl cutters. I use it to make my one-time use stencils. Okay, a tip with our clay paint. This is a little bit dirty. I've got like some clumps in it. It's not bad, but instead of getting it out when you can't do this with latex paint, but instead of getting it out while you're painting, just leave it. This stuff is so easy to get off. Like I can just flick it with my finger later and it'll come off easier than making a mess going over your wet paint. So just wait till it dries, get it off. And even if you want to sand in between coats to make a less textury finish, it takes a very, very fine, don't get very strong sanding paper, and it literally, you go like that and it'll be pretty much done. So, okay, let me show you over here my Cricut cutter. I'm going to see if anybody commented that I am. Most people watch the replay. Well, now I can't see the comments. I'm really looking to see if I'm horizontal or if I'm right. And it's not showing me the messages. Oh, okay. Anyway, oh, a booth vendor. Oh goodness, had this, and I'm mailing it out for her. She's got 2 little vignettes she's made, and this is so cute. Okay, where am I at? Oh, this I want to show you this. Okay, this is called the Joy Cricut Cutter, and the app can be downloaded on. I have an iPhone. I'm sure it's on Android too, but I don't know. And it's kind of been glitchy for the first time in a couple of years, like the app, not the machine. And that's my one-time use vinyl. You can get them in smaller bundles, of course. And I kind of Frankensteined old cutting mat, but you don't even have to have, there's like smart vinyl where you don't have to have your stuff on a mat, but I just use this because I've got it. And it is so easy to use. If I can use it, you can use it. Now, I don't get fancy with it and do double cuts or anything because I have all my products to embellish. I just basically want the fonts and the words. So from tiny seeds grow mighty trees. And so you have some free fonts you can use. I do pay for the yearly membership. But look, you can do all kinds of fonts. And you can, but I will show you one more thing before we I'm going to dry it too, but it does help a little bit to let it dry on its own. Okay, we have a lot of the Iron Orchid stamps that have fonts. So you can, this is the retro, this is the farmhand, this is typesetting. I think this one's retired, but I've got a bunch of them and I think other people do too. Letterpress. So they're smaller and numbers. It's got numbers on it. There's the swoosh. And they're as big as those that I'm making up there. They're about 4 inches. I think that's it. And then they made these, which I'm really loving. They're starting to make these little ones. Where is my font one? Look at that. So it's got, and they're small. They're so small you can't hardly find them sometimes. So I take these, I sell these too. If you buy any stamps from me that has the just some stamps that would need one of these, and you comment that you've seen me say on this live, I'll send you out a free one. They're not that expensive anyways, but they're big. They're big like this. Now, some of them might not have the little pink arch on it, which is really nice, but you can draw that on with a plate. I did that before they invented those. And then I take some and I cut so that I can use it for the smaller things. And the grid lines really help you to line up the letters. So anyways, you can do this without a Cricut machine. Get a stamp. They're under what, $30, I think. And I'm decorizingyourlife.com, and I have all these and I mail them out. Okay, so let's get back to this. Okay, I'm going to have to dry this real quick. A little bit. It won't take long, honestly. It goes pretty fast. I say that. I forgot I have to do it pretty decent to put that sticky thing down. Oop. You know what? I might have to show you. Okay. I'm going to go put this under the old lady hair dryer. I have a little salon back there and let it dry some, but I'll put one of these. I've got a whole bunch made up and I'll show you what I do on a board. I'll show you how easy it is to do it. Well, let me just take you with me so it's not like, okay. This is backstage of Decorizing Your Life, man. Okay. This is my shipping department / family beauty shop because I don't do hair anymore. Man, that's going to be loud. Okay, so lots of my projects that get dried under here. Okay, what am I showing? Oh, let me get a board that's painted. Let me see. I've got one somewhere. We can do a little. Oh, this is kind of fun. This is a raised stencil. You can let your DIY paint get thick in the air or put a texture medium in it and then stencil the paint on there. Look how cute that is. Okay, let me find something to put. Oh, here, we'll put some on this. He's ready to go. I do all my extras paint and stuff on boards. And then I'm always got a base ready to go. So I just decoupage some, what is this? Hymnal paper. If you can't defile a hymnal, you know, because you feel wrong, I've been there, copy it. Copy it off, print it down off the internet, and then you can age it with tea stain or a glaze with our paint. And then this is just some actual scraps of decoupage paper and a crackle stencil. So I've got a lot going on here. I probably did this for a live demonstration. And these are just, you know, 2x4s. Okay, so, and then what I do, this is my little rescue piece. I love this piece. I got it from a old nursing home / hospital being torn down. There's all my stencils. There's all my paint inlays. Okay. So I love to sit at home and make up a whole bunch of these. I love to weed and do all this stuff. Now, why did I do that? I must have needed an A for something. Okay. Oh, this is going to be in my craft kit. I have this on my video this week, tomorrow. If you're not into these lives and all the chatter, you can go and watch that. At the very end of the video, I'm showing this because it's a 2-part craft kit I'm going to send out. So you'll have your spring, summer, and then this could be a fall sign. You could put it on a wreath, you know, put it over a mirror. I put it outside in a little hanging thing. Anyway, so I'm close to being able to do a membership group on YouTube. You have to have so many watch hours and subscribers. And so I'm getting really close. Thank you if you're watching and watch all the way through. That's how I get points with YouTube. If you watch it all the way through, comment and subscribe and all this stuff. But anyway, I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do it because I can have different tiers. And I'm thinking about having where I send out a craft kit every other month. And then I've already made the video for this. So you will have a QR code or you can watch live. I'll have a special time I go every time and we'll do this together. A group of ladies is going to come and make these. I could even send, well, I couldn't send these out because this is a stamp. But anyway, well, we could watercolor them. Anyway, so I'll have a craft kit, I think, every other month. And it'll be a higher price tier because there's a lot to packing, shipping, you know, and all the product. And then I'll have lower price tiers like the $7 one might be just whatever I'm working on. Backstage is what I'm going to call it. Wherever, whatever. I'm always doing something. So, yeah, that's what I'm working on. Okay, so let me see. We're going to get started on this. Man, I'm going to have to start getting my iPad, pull myself up on iPad and see if I can read the comments that way. I think that's how people do it. I'm so sorry. I have a really annoying cough. I'm going to cover my mic real quick. It's bad. I've never had this for so long. I had it for 3 weeks the first time, and I checked for COVID. Wasn't COVID. And then it went away. I had a whole week of relief, and I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. And it came back with a vengeance. So I don't know what's going on. Okay. So let's see. What do I want to do on this one? I don't want Hello Pumpkin on that. It doesn't really look like that. But do you see how you could just make up a whole bunch of these? And then I've got one that says create. This is actual vinyl instead of the one-time use stencil. What can we put on this? Play like, I don't know. Let me just dig through these. You can watch me digging through these. This would be like the backstage. I don't know what I want to do to show you. Oh, paint, craft, crazy. Let's just do that one. Okay. I don't really even know. I must have seen that somewhere. So what you do, you got your surface prepped. I don't seal my clay paint. I put this on first. You can't do that with transfers because your transfers won't adhere because it's clay and porous, and it just won't work. But I found out with my one-time use stencils, it's better unless it's really good and dry, like this is, to put this on because it's sticky before you seal it with the big top, because when you take this off, it'll pull your finish off and then it looks different. And when you go back to repair it, it's just, unless you like the, crazy textures and colors and all that. So I found out this is better to do like this. So you do this really close. Now see how that happens? So I could do a whole live on just making these sometime. But not everybody would probably be into it. But I really loved my Joy Cricut cutter. I had a big one, and it was so complicated I couldn't use it, the software. And so I just donated it. So I got this little one. Now they make one a little bit bigger than that, but still a little bit smaller than the other ones. Okay, now this is where it kind of gets hard because you could kind of have it like this on accident, So you kind of got to just I just eyeball it usually unless it's a gift, or I haven't done any customs, but I'd be more picky on a customs, and I would have my little ruler and, do all that stuff. Okay. But if I just make them and set them in my shop to sell and they look at it and it might be not perfect and they're like, oh, okay, yeah. But if you do a custom and they see that, it's like, I'm not paying you. So I'm a little picky about customs, but. Okay, so then you do like this because you want that sticky. And I want this to show up because there's a lot going on here. So I either need to do red. I think I will do red because I've got the red out. And it's the Jamie Ray Vintage. It's a DIY Jamie Ray curated one-step paint where you don't have to seal it. So it'll be done and ready since this is already done. So I'm doing this because you want that to stay down. Sometimes you got to get some tweezers to help those little guts of the inside of the letters stay. And you can use a credit card or something to keep this from, popping up, because it wants to pop up sometimes. Sometimes I can reuse these too. This stuff's expensive. Okay, see that right there? Lay it back down and try to convince it to stay where it needs to be. Okay, and you don't want to go up like this. You want to go like this. When I first started hot waxing, I was a hairstylist for a long time. Oh my goodness. I would rip it off like this up, like say this is their eyebrow, and I would go up like that. It hurts them worse. And then I watched some videos or something. This is before YouTube, And then if you go like that with the skin, it's a lot better. And oh my goodness, I had a mess all the time when I first started waxing because my friend, the paper would pull off without the wax. And then it would be just a hot mess. And my friend would have to come over and pull me out of the hole every time. My poor customers. I had repeat customers. Can you believe it? Anyway. Okay. So then what you want to do is you want to go over this with your finger, because you don't, when you stencil your paint on, you don't want it to go up under there. So you want this to adhere pretty good. so it's not fuzzy. But if it does get fuzzy and not crisp and clean when you pull this blue part off, then you can just distress it and make it look like it was meant to be. Okay. Oops. Wait, I felt that something come up that wasn't supposed to come up. Oh, right there. Darn. Okay, stick down. Please stick down. Okay. And I always save these for a paint palette to stipple on, which that one's kind of skinny, but. Okay, now the One Step DIY paint really, really, really has to be stirred good because there's bonding and binder agents that make you not have to seal it and make it super durable. And so if you don't pull those up from the bottom and really get them stirred in, I always store my paint upside down because that kind of helps get it back down in there. Then it's not going to be as durable. Of course, you know, it's going to be sitting on a shelf or something or hanging on a wall. So it's not going to be as important. I work out of the lid a lot. Like today, I'm going to work out of the lid. Let's get some of that stirred stuff on there. Okay. I'm going to work out my lid. I don't suggest that because it will contaminate your paint and make it stink if your brush is dirty. Okay, my stencil brushes are right here. Okay, make sure I got, okay. I sell Jamie Ray Vintage stencil brushes, and I have been hard on them. I let them soak in water, and you really shouldn't do that. Okay, so these were cheap supplement ones, and I'm showing you the difference. These are not as dense, and they won't get you one coverage, and the success of your thing really will not be as good. Okay, it's really important when you stencil, load your brush. And if I send you out craft kits, we do this with little bitty sponges I cut out. And then unload. So load your brush and unload. And then you're probably going to want a painter's tape here, or sometimes I use a piece of paper so that you don't get it, you know, because that's, I need to cut these bigger for the craft kit so you have more place to not, you know, for inexperienced stencilers. With the One Step paint, you can pretty much, especially a dark color, cover it in one coat. But Jamie Ray One Step usually takes two for sure, unless you're doing black. Load and unload. So this is the color I'm doing on that sign, Faded Burlap in this barn red. Isn't that pretty? We have Marquee. It's kind of like an OU red. Well, I'm from Oklahoma. Oh, that's kind of lifted up there. This is very textury, so it may get blurry under there. It would have been decent for this. Our Carnival red's a little brighter red. So we do have two good reds. And I've used a drop of black, and I mean just a drop, to deepen it. So, you know, you can always mix your paints and get more colors than one. So I'm going really slow right here because I don't have, you know, tape right there. Well, this is sealed and cured, so I could probably wipe it off with a baby wipe or just touch up paint with your base color. Yeah, that might be messed up right there because it's where I went like that too much and it didn't stick. Whew, like right there, I got some. Darn. Okay. Red is very unforgiving. Okay, this is plastic. So I'm going to use my dryer on cool because you don't want it to melt. It's not going to dry very good because it doesn't dry as fast. Wash that. This is what happens to your brushes when you soak them forever and ever. The glue separates. Sometimes it does right here too. Almost there. So this needs to not be pushed through so fast, this step, but for the sake of this live, I'm pushing through too fast. So it won't cover as good as it would if I'd have let it get a little bit drier. Like I said, the DIY formula would have been just one coat with this dark of color. Had that too loaded. This may look bad because I can see it's not down on the piece real good. Another thing with the stencils I sell, they're a really good quality. So they're thicker and they last longer to clean up and they just work better. I promise you, a good stencil brush and a good stencil goes a long ways for the success of your project. Okay, you're going to see this pull off and it's going to be so satisfying. Well, it might not be. I've got this brush pretty loaded, so it's probably going up under there. You never know. Like, seriously, I don't care how hard you try or what you do. Sometimes it's just bad. Okay. Okay, and sometimes I work with my little picker, or you can get a safety pin or something. I think I've sent a safety pin to pull up on stuff before. Oops, see, I got some red there too. You do this while it's wet on this part. Okay, it's not terrible. I'm not going to say it's the best ever, but. Ooh, okay, so some of this pulled up the paint from underneath there, which I'm totally fine with because I think that's cool. But I don't know. I probably didn't have that done right under there. Okay, I got to get a little picker to get the guts out of those. I'm walking over here to my little picker deal. Oh, here's one right here. I get these at Harbor Freight they look like a dental tool. Just to have some supplement ones. I have actual Cricut ones and stuff. So this is where you can use a safety pin instead. Okay, see, a little gut. I'll hold it up close in a second. Got to be careful with these or it'll drop on your part you don't want that color paint on. And when you're pulling them off, you want to be careful too. The big one. This is where it's good to have some tweezers and a picker. I'm not sending your tweezers with the craft kit. But if you buy some makeup, I will. I sell makeup too. Okay, that one needs to go down. So I usually send a free gift with makeup purchase. It's in my link tree that's at the top of, or in my description somewhere. All the stuff I sell. I only sell what I absolutely believe in and love. I guess some influencers, when they get really big, I have no aspirations for that. But if it would ever even happen anyway. But they'll like sell stuff they don't even believe in. How can you do that? Okay, so look, that pulled up. Look, so that's how you do a one-time use. I don't think this is that cute, honestly, but it'll be okay in here. But it shows you a lot of techniques. It shows you a crackle stencil. I've got that one. It shows you a one-time use stencil, or you can stamp with our Iron Orchid fonts. It shows you our decoupage medium, and DIY is the liquid patina. And I sell this decoupage paper too. And it's just, I was just demoing. So I don't think this is the most beautiful thing in the world. I'm just demoing a lot of inspiration and techniques. A lot of times, I don't love my composition a lot of times because when you're on a live, teaching live, it's really hard to make it what it should be because you got to stop and think and stand back and look. And so all I'll do to this is let it dry and it's ready. Okay, let's go see if I'm going to go see if my little guy's ready in the old lady dryer. Let's see. So it's just kind of crazy. Here's one of our workshops we did. If you follow me, you've seen that 1,000 times. Okay. I got to carry this stuff all. I had some sheetrock done yesterday. Would I do spiral staircases again? Yes, but no. Okay, let's turn this off. Do you need a drink? Are you okay? Back in the day when I did hair. This was actually my hair salon back here. Right here. This is all hair salon. And up there was empty. My husband said instead of renting the building, just buy it. It wasn't that much more. Well, it ended up being that much more by the time we did everything. You know how that goes. But to buy it instead of rent. And I had no vision for what I'm doing now. I had no vision for retail. It was just empty up here. Can you believe that? I was just back here at my little station doing this. And that was my sink room back there and my pedicure chair and all that. And there's my facial room back there. And so here I am 15 years later and my renter moved out. So I'm back in doing art, not even doing hair except for family. Okay, let's see how this is. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is a gift, so I don't want to mess this up. I do want to concentrate on this. I don't think I'm going to be on here live, but this is faded burlap. And it was only one coat, and I think it's going to work, just one coat. So I would just peel, just what you see me do on that smaller one. I would just peel this off. It'd take longer with this. If any of these little guts come out, you just stick them back on. They're easier to line up than you think. You rub it down to make sure you got it stuck to there. You don't really concentrate on rubbing this down, just where the letters are. Then you peel this stuff off. And then you stipple it, and then I'm going to seal it. Well, I won't have to seal it with this, but I probably will because I got to seal this with Big Top. And I think I'm going to use, let me show you what I think I'm going to use. Since it's a baby nursery, this is our Whispering Willow. It is gorgeous. I love this one. It is $49, but look at all the sheets it has. It is the most gorgeous. You got to see them in real life. I thought this was beautiful until we busted one open and used it. And then I was like, oh my goodness, it is so cute. So see that fox and see this page? That's how big that fox is. He's about this big. And this little hedgehog, I'm thinking you'd want to kill these things if they were in your yard, but they are so cute on Iron Orchid. It's just so pretty. So this deer is this, because this is one sheet, this size. That deer is like this big. This is a really, really precious one. And I do have some in stock. So anyway, okay, that's all I'm going to do for you today. I'll keep you posted on how this little thing turns out. I don't think she does Facebook, so I'm good for this baby shower gift. And then I'm going to make another one that I'm going to use our lemon. This was when I went to training for Iron Orchid. This was our sample boards they had us do. And I'm going to use our lemon transfers because she has Cheerful Farmhouse as her theme. And so I'm going to do something with these. And I don't know what I'm going to say yet. You guys got any good sayings? I don't want to do when life gives you lemons. Is there anything I could say it doesn't have to have something that says lemons. One time I put a sign when life, I can't remember, but I spelled it wrong on the company, Iron Orchid Company Live. And so I had to repaint it during the live. And then do you know, I spelt that thing wrong again. And they were all screaming at me in the comments to help. And I didn't see it until later. Oh my gosh, I hated that sign by the time I got it done. I can't remember. I thought of some cool little thing to say. Anyway, so, and then we've got a new one. Oh, this is I think this is retired, but look at all those. They're so fun. So fun. Here's some of our fonts you can use. Oh, that's cute. I could just say lemonade. Yeah. So anyway, ooh, I like it on the black too. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to read those later. I wish I could see them on here. I'll have to hook up my iPad next time. So if you got any ideas for what to say on a sign for a wedding gift with lemons in their kitchen, let me know. And yeah, if you need any help, just ask.